Hi everyone, Jen here from Memory Keeping with Jen. Welcome back to the next edition of School Day Sundays. This is episode 4. I am working on my son's preschool graduation photos, his first year preschool graduation photos. As I was going through photos recently, I really don't have that many from his second year of preschool. It's just a few. I actually printed a whole bunch of photos and they came in this week and I was going through them and I tried to print them in year order. And I have a whole bunch from the first day of kindergarten and then nothing. And then I have like one from, literally one photo from his kindergarten Halloween party. So I'm gonna have to go back and look. I keep all my photos on Shutterfly. I'm gonna have to go back to Shutterfly and see if maybe I missed them. I can't imagine I would only have one photo from Halloween, but that's what I found. And then same thing, it's just like a few first day of school photos. So I don't know if I'm missing stuff somewhere, but anyway, so I have quite a few photos for his initial preschool graduation. I actually had more than 20. Some of them are duplicates. Some of them are, just kind of different angles. So I did go through and pick out the best ones. And I ended up with 11 for this 2-page layout that I'm going to do today. I have a few more that I might do a single page layout on, him with his teachers. If I do that one, I probably won't show it on in a video just because of obviously the sensitivity of, I don't really, they're all close-ups of his teachers. I might just do a video of the layout itself. I haven't decided, but anyway, nonetheless, it will be in the album flip through once I do that, when this is all done. So today, in keeping with school colors, I have the Essentials accent paperback and Essentials tonal paperback, and these are from 2018. Few years. I am almost out of the accent paperback. So I loved this one. I got this one at the time because my son is totally, both of them, into Lego. So to me, when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, that would be great for some Lego pages. I'm almost out of it. It actually works well with schools too. And I think I'm going to end up finishing this one today. This has got foil on it. I actually don't even think I'm going to use this one, but I brought it over just in case I do decide to use it. But definitely going to use this. And then my base today is just going to be 2 gray cardstock. This is the light gray. I actually really like this. This is Creative Memories. I use this light gray a lot. It's probably my #1 ordered cardstock from Creative Memories. And then I have something a little bit different. So it's a little bit embarrassing to even show you, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I've talked before, I get a lot of ideas from Pinterest, from other scrapbooking groups. One of my favorite ones that I really like is called Mosaic Moments. I'm pretty sure I saw this design on there. But again, it doesn't have, the measurements and whatnot. So I was like, I really want to make this layout, but I have to figure out how to make it work. So I took a piece of it, and I know some of you that are watching, you might be on the Creative Memories, design team. So please don't make fun of me for my design here, because this is so rough sketch. I'm not an artist. I am not creative. So what I did was I took a piece of scrap 12 by 12 paper and I kind of laid out what the different pieces are, and I didn't finish because I was like, all right, I just got to kind of figure it out as I go along, but I have a general sense of what it's going to look like. So there's going to be a strip at the top, a strip at the bottom, 3 photos in the middle, 3 photos towards the bottom, and then just squares in the middle. And I am going to duplicate it on both sides, except on the right side, one of these is going to be a journaling box. I haven't decided yet which one. When I cut my photos, I will decide which one's going to be a journaling box. So this is my sketch that I'm working off of today. Again, very rough. Don't know if it's going to turn out the way I really want it to or not, but I'm going to try. And I chose this, one of the reasons I chose this to make this one today, I always say I like to mix it up. I don't always just use creative memory stuff. And I really want to showcase, especially if there's any beginner scrapbookers watching, that you don't need a lot of tools to scrapbook. So I have my 12-inch trimmer here, which this is a staple. If you're a new scrapbooker and you don't know where to start, you have to have a 12-inch trimmer, without a doubt. I have my scissors, which I don't know that I'll actually need. I did bring my photo trimming grids today. They are not a staple if you're a new beginner. If you're a beginner scrapbooker, you do not need these. I do have my photo trimmer. Again, if you're a beginner scrapbooker, this is a great to have. You could use your 12-inch trimmer. It's not ideal because it does wear out the blade faster. But this is what I have. And that's all I have for tools. Obviously tape runner. So I'm going to create this 2-page layout using just my straight edge tools. I'm not using a punch today. I'm not using my border maker cartridge. I'm not using a corner rounder. I'm not doing any of that. It's literally just a simple, going to be straight edge layouts. So, okay, I'm going to open this. Again, this is almost empty. It only came with 6 sheets. It is foiled. They are foiled, I should say. And I decided I thought this would be a good layout that I can try to use the rest of it in. Just to move on to something else. All right, so I need first to start. So I'm not sure if and this is where it's gonna get kind of tricky, right? If I need 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch. And I think I'm gonna use 3/4 of an inch. I do wanna see how it's gonna look on here. Like what are my colors gonna look like? I wanna make sure that I can get a couple colors, because this is striped paper. I want a couple colors in. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do it this way this time. I never ever do my stripes that way, but maybe I'll mix it up and do it that way this time. And then I do get all the colors in. I wonder how that would look. And I have plenty of paper. If I don't like it, I'll change it. I am gonna do it this way. I am totally gonna mix it up today. And I am gonna start with, I really wanna do 1 inch. I'm gonna do 7/8. See, I'm already mixing up what I wrote down I was gonna do. I just feel like 1 inch is gonna be too big and 3/4 of an inch is not quite enough. So I'm gonna cut these at 7/8, and I need 4. And because it's a little bit more precise, I'm just kind of going a little bit slower to make sure that I get it right on the line. The 1 inch is easy because it's got the solid line to follow. 1/2 inch, most of them have the solid line. So now the back, I'm going to use as my photo mats. So I already know that I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 3¼ by 3¼ So I'm going to go ahead and cut those while I have this paper right here. And I really, 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 really hope that this just turns out the way I want it to. Well, we'll see. I'm going to hold on to this because I might end up using this somewhere else in the design. Let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3. I said I need 6. This is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need, and continuing with my photo mats, I need 4 that are 4 3/4 by 3. Oops, 3 3/4. 4. Oh shoot, I just made a mess. So I just pulled out this last sheet and I had all these little scraps in there and they just flew everywhere. I'll pick those up after. All right, 4 3/4. 3 1/4. I didn't entirely look to see. My son's wearing blue in the photo. I don't really know if the red is gonna match or not, but we'll see. 4 3/4. Wait, how many did I say I need? 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3. So I obviously will have a little bit left over. I'll have scraps that I will end up putting probably back in the same file again. Bag. Okay, and now I need 10 2-inch squares. And I want different colors. So that's why I'm thinking I'm gonna do one of the, I'll do this one in the middle and then I'll do these on the edges. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So let me see, let me do 2-inch here. And I'm gonna cut off the red on this one only because I already have a lot of red, so I'm okay if I don't use red again. So I definitely work better when I have a layout or a design in mind of what I'm gonna do. So this has just a little bit of yellow on here I want to cut off. There we go. Again, it's red, but that's fine. Didn't want a lot of red, but because I have all the other red. And I measured these earlier. Yeah, so once I cut right on the line, it's exactly 2 inches. So I'm gonna cut this way and then I'll cut on the line. And I need 2 of each. That. And then I actually only need the blue now because I cut so there's 1, 2. So I used my guide on here and I counted up, I measured up from the bottom. So when I got to 4 inches, I released the blade. And now I'm doing the same thing here. I'm only cutting up, I'm using the white line and I'm only cutting up to where the blue and the red meet. Perfect. Okay, I think that's extra. So I think I have everything, oops, I forgot this, cut except for my photos. Yeah, and I kind of thought this was gonna happen. Just a little extra trim there. No big deal. I'll use my scissors. Okay, I think I have everything cut except for my photos. So I'm gonna lay it all out and see if it's doing what I want it to do. And then if it is, then I'll cut my photos. And I feel like it's kind of a quick layout. I've actually been thinking about this layout for a while. I'll say at least 2 weeks. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to make that layout. But I had been going back and forth with figuring out the sizes and drawing it out and knowing that I had to draw it out and knowing that that's not really my strong suit. Okay, wish me luck. Let's hope these fit. And I am totally gonna have to change my blade. I can't believe it. It's either my blade. I noticed this the last time my last video that I did too. I'm starting to get these white things, and that's typically a sign that it's either the blade or the mat that needs to be changed. And oh, you know what? I did not do. So I want to have an edge around the outside. So I actually need to trim 1/4 of an inch off of the borders. I totally forgot about that. Let me do that first, because that's going to make a difference when I lay out all my stuff. Let me see if I can remember now where the 1/4 of an inch is on here. I know it's marked, but I just want to make sure I get it right. Okay. Because I don't cut this way very often, so from the cut line to the end of the gray line, the end of the mat, maybe it's my cutting mat. Doesn't really look like it, but you know what? I'm gonna change my cutting mat right now. Actually, no, I'll do it after. This is not a big deal. But right to the edge of the gray line is 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just trimming off that little bit, and I'm gonna trim off the red because I have so much red elsewhere. It's not a big deal, but I think I only need to trim 1/4 of an inch. I might have to trim 1/2 an inch altogether. I have to look and see how it goes now when I lay it down. Yeah, I need to trim just a little bit more. I think I'm going to trim the blue, and then each end will be close to white. Close. Let's see, is that better? It's still kind of big, but oh yeah, it comes in 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Yep, that's right. Okay, so I needed to trim this 1/2 an inch. So this should be 7/8 of an inch. You know, I actually need to write this down too, so I don't forget. I ended up doing it 7/8 of an inch by 11.5. I'm gonna write it right on here. 7/8 inch by 11.5 inches. I will probably, if I like this one, I'll end up doing it again, and I will rewrite that out. I won't end up redrawing it, but I will rewrite it. Let's see, I'm lining up. I love having the grid lines on here to help me line up where I want to put everything. So I'm lining it up 1/4 of an inch from the right side, and looks like 3/8 of an inch from the bottom and top. Okay, let me try this again. So the intent is to have the photo mats align with either side. And have the right amount of distance in between. I'm gonna do these parts last. And obviously the larger ones go in the middle. So this is where I need to see if I cut right. It only needs a little bit of space in between each one. And I think this is going to be perfect. Think being the key word here. Think, think, think. Oh, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I did not cut enough 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Let me do a couple more of those. Hopefully I still have plenty of paper left. Yeah, I'll do this one. Believe my blade is not, my trimmer is in need of maintenance already. Okay, that's gonna go there. And then these go in the middle. And I am gonna mix them up. I don't want them to be the same. I guess, let's see. I do kind of wish I didn't have the red, but that's fine. There's just a lot of red going on in here. But maybe once I get my paper down, it'll be okay. So and I intentionally turned these ones so the stripes are going the other way. So that's my layout. That's literally it. Now I'm just gonna, I have to cut my photos and place them down. But I think this is gonna work. I kind of like it. I hope I like it once I put the photos down. I definitely like the gray. I chose the gray because it kind of, I feel like it was gonna pull in the silver, the foil that's in these and in the stripes. And again, I think I said before, my son's not really wearing red. So I hope the red kind of goes. He is wearing blue, obviously. He just wears a lot of blue, then and now. So, oops, I do have my photo label pencil. And I did get my grids this time because I knew it was just going to be a lot to try to do these. And I need my photos 3 by 3 and then 4.5 by 3. And I don't know that I have a 4.5 by 3. There's my 3 by 3. I have a 4 by 3, but not 4.5 by 3. So the 4.5 by 3, I will cut. I'll measure by hand after. So my son was incredibly nervous. And that's what some of these first pictures are, just how nervous he was. And I'm just doing it because I'm doing it from the bottom. I'm gonna only cut on 3 sides, so I'm just doing 3 lines of where I'm gonna cut. Which picture do I want in the middle? That part I need to figure out as well. Okay, so this one's gonna definitely go in the middle. So I'm gonna make my line on the top and the bottom to mark the 3-inch, and then I'll figure out the 4.5. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Like maybe I'll leave some of the kids in this one. Let's see. The faces he was making, oh my goodness, so funny. These ones I think are going to be a little bit harder. The ones on the right hand side, just because they're a little bit bigger, and it's going to be kind of hard, I think, to get smaller photos to fit. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to get 3 by 3 photos. It's all just going to be his face. Okay. And then these ones are going to be kind of the hard ones. That one. And I have extras, so after I cut these, if I don't really like the way they look, I will just go and pull out the extras that I have, because I haven't done anything with them yet. Okay, I think I have them all marked for the most part, except for the 4.5 inch. I didn't do anything on that yet. Again, I haven't adhered anything down yet. I'm gonna cut my photos first. And then once I do that, I will adhere everything, assuming I like the way it all looks. All right, now I need 4.5. I think I'm gonna cut the teacher off. Sorry, teach. It's definitely much faster to cut when you have the lines already on there. This one's gonna go on this side. I think this is gonna be just fine. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with how it's all turning out so far. Shoot, was that the one that I needed to make bigger? No, it's these. Okay. I don't like cutting off. Obviously, this is like his artwork that he did. I don't like cutting it all off completely, but gotta make it fit, so. And I did look to see if I actually had any of this artwork, and I didn't immediately find it. Again, I have 2 bins, like the big Sterilite bins, you know, tote bins, plastic bins of all of his artwork from when he was probably, I don't know, 9 months old. And his daycare would send home every single, you know, piece of whatever that he had done, finger painting and, you know, everything. And of course at the time I saved everything, so I've slowly been going through that and just knowing that as when I find things, I may just end up having to incorporate them into the album somehow, which I'll figure that out when the time comes. Okay. So I'm really happy with how this came out. I'm like, oh my God, why am I missing pictures? They're still over here. I do want to put a journaling box in here. I'm going to write about it this time, which I don't always do, but I am going to do in this one. So that'll be next. And worst case, if I can't find a journaling box or a piece of paper that I like that fits in there, I will... Did I cut the wrong one around? Oh yeah, I missed a line. I'll put an embellishment or something in there. But I did bring over my Storybox journaling boxes, my old ones. I'm going to go through those quickly. I'm going to lay everything down. I'm going to adhere everything down, and then I'm going to go through the Storybox to see if I find one that I think kind of matches and aligns. But I want to adhere everything down first. I feel like that's the point I'm kind of at now, I think. All right, I'm going to start with my photos. Just getting them on the photo mats. And then I'm going to work just the way I did when I laid everything down. I'm going to start with the borders, the stripes, and then I will do the photos, and I'm going to do the center squares last. And I might have to just kind of move my paper around a little bit, so honestly, so I can see, because it's kind of far. And I really want my lines to be lined up as much as I can. I am disappointed this is the end of my foiled essentials paper. I really liked this paper. Like, I actually might go out and see if I can find it on eBay or somebody else's site somewhere. Tessa has a great site. Her website, she has a lot of retired stuff. All right, now I have to remember how I had this. I had it at 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. So again, I'm using my ruler on here and doing 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Meaning 1/4 inch from each side of the paper. And I'm going to try to do the same up here. Okay, and now I'm going to lay out my photos. And same thing, they're about 1/4 inch. So the bottom of the photo is 1/4 inch from the top of the border strip. Oh yeah, I need to do the one on the end first. I'm doing the one on the end first so that it's lined up on the end. And then I'll do the one in the middle and figure out how much space I need in between, because it's very minimal. So all the stress I had about measuring and drawing out this layout and making sure it was right, it definitely worked out. I think part of it I probably did overthink it just a little bit. Again, I'd been thinking about it for well over a week, so I guess that's not really too surprising that I would have overthought it. So here I'm just eyeballing how far in between I want, like how much space I want in between each square. It's about the same. Okay, that side is done. I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. The desk that I'm sitting at has a door under it, and of course the door is on the right-hand side, essentially where I'm working at the moment. Like it's almost right, it's right below this part of my desk, so I can't get my chair all the way over there. But this is the best place for me to sit and work when I'm recording. Again, this is a super easy layout in terms of not needing a lot of tools. Again, so if you're a beginner and you're looking for an easy layout, this is a great one for you to work on. You just kind of need to have the measurements, which I'll try to put some of the measurements either in the pop-ups or the comments, because it's really 1, 2, 3, 4 measurements is all you need. I mean, I guess with the photos, but you can figure out the photos. If I give you the measurement for the photo mat, then you can, that's going to be the background, and then you could decide how you want your photos, what size. Some people might want them smaller than I have them. I don't know. But I will put the measurements somewhere in here. When I go back and edit and finalize it, I'll determine then where the best place is to put the measurements. Okay, and now I'm gonna figure out a journaling box. And I kind of feel like, I hope I have blue or yellow or something to go in there. I'm gonna end up trimming it, so these are all the ones that I have. Oh, what's this green one? This green one might go. So again, I'm gonna trim the inside of it to 3 by 3. So I feel like this one is gonna be too small if I trim it that way. So I feel like I need a bigger one that I can more easily trim. Like something that's just got the lines. And if that makes sense. I don't know if the Essentials had a Metro box, what are they called? Story box. I forget what they're even called now. This one could work. Photo mat kit with journaling boxes or not, because if they did, that would have been great. To just get the colors aligned. I have so many of these things. It's crazy. And I have even more that aren't even in here that I think I like the green better. Not the yellow. That aren't even in here that I have somewhere else. No, I'm gonna go with yellow. That was a quick, and I could do it this way too. Perfect. Just because they don't fit in here. So I, at one point, because I had so many, and I was like, oh, I only need a journaling box, and I have to go through, 7 boxes to find a journaling box. So of course I love my label maker, so I pulled out a bunch of the journaling boxes and put them in its own. And then the other ones I actually put into boxes coordinated by color. So when I'm looking for a photo mat of a certain color, again, versus going through a whole bunch of random ones, I have one that's you know, purple and pink or whatever, one for blue. But I have more journaling boxes in a photo, like a big photo box that aren't even in here. And I was like, holy cow, I didn't even realize I had those. So this, I'm gonna cut the same size as the photos. This is gonna be 3 by 3. And it doesn't matter because it's kind of tough. Perfect. Yeah, see? Oh my God, I've got to change my blade. That's gonna drive me crazy. But I don't know. The problem is I don't know if it's the blade or the mat. I'm gonna keep out a piece of scrap paper so I can. I'll do that after. Okay, I'm gonna journal quickly on here. I have my big thing of pens. I have all kinds of pens. I have Creative Memories pens. I have Stampin' Up pens. I have Zig markers. And I think I wanna do green. Okay, not the best journaling, but it's fine. It talks about what it is and we're good. I do want to put a date on here though. That I did not do. So I'm just going to write it really small. Yeah, I guess I'll put it in my journaling box. There we go. Okay, and that's it. That's the end of this page. I'm happy I went with just the 2-page layout. I'm even more happy that I got this particular layout done. I really have been wanting to try this one, and I'm happy with the way it came out with the colors and the gray. Let me just take this off the mat so you can kind of get a sense without the mat what it looks like with the gray. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that was a good choice. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you some kind of inspiration or ideas or thoughts. If nothing else, you know, it's a layout that you can use, that you can create with just a 12-inch trimmer and maybe a pair of scissors if needed. So again, I'm all about trying to be simple. I love the more intricate and detailed pages, but at the same time, sometimes I just need to slow down and do a simple page like this, with no tools, no fancy punches or anything. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button. That lets me know if you know, what kind of videos you like, if you like this video, not like this video, or even leave a comment. Let me know if you have made a layout, something like this. Let me know, you know, do you use a lot of border punches or other kinds of punches? You know, I talk a lot about Creative Memories, but I know that there are so many other brands out there. EK Success and Martha Stewart and Fiskars. There's just so many. Stampin' Up. I have a few Stampin' Up punches. So, you know, I'm curious to know, do you use a lot of punches in your layouts, or do you kind of, I'll say, go back to the old school and just use, you know, a straight edge sometimes? I don't know, curious. So again, thank you so much. And happy scrapbooking, guys. Take care.